Ladies and gents, the XRP ripple is blazing and just getting more fascinating. According to experts, the SEC's court victory might soon lead to the purchase of more than $8 billion worth of XRP. Don't you think that seems crazy? However, it doesn't stop there. Predictions indicate that the price of XRP Ripple may rise to $2,500. We cannot afford to disregard this optimistic indication. Let's get right to the point without further ado. Disclaimer. XRP is on the verge of what might be its most revolutionary moment to date. The tide is now turning after years of legal disputes and uncertainty, and this time it goes beyond simple judicial triumphs. It has to do with institutional funding, Wall Street attention, and a possible approval of a spot ETF that may inject billions of dollars in liquidity into the XRP market. You won't be emotionally ready for the volume of inflows that XRP will receive next week, according to cryptocurrency analyst Bale. XRP week will arrive in a day. Anticipation like that doesn't happen overnight. XRP's spot ETF application is now being examined by the SEC. Many experts think that this change could be approved by 2025, if not before. Along with other ETFs being considered, spot ETFs for XRP have a 95% chance of being approved, according to Bloomberg ETF expert Eric Balkunis. We must define an ETF in order to see why this is important. Without having to physically hold the underlying tokens, investors can obtain exposure to assets, such as cryptocurrencies, through regulated financial markets by using an exchange-traded fund. When Ethereum and Bitcoin ETFs were authorized, they caused enormous institutional money inflows and price spikes in addition to making headlines. The ramifications for XRP are equally, if not more, significant. More liquidity, better price discovery, easier access for conventional investors, and, above all, widespread legitimacy are all benefits of an ETF. All of this follows a significant legal turning point that radically altered the discourse surrounding XRP. Since the SEC initially brought accusations against Ripple Labs in 2020, the community has been waiting for a turning point, and in 2023, a judge decided that XRP is not a security. Following the ruling, the XRP governor tweeted, "XRP is not a security." This straightforward statement concluded one chapter and launched another. Institutional interest began to flood in after the verdict made XRP eligible for consideration in ETFs. The push to introduce regulated XRP investment products is now being spearheaded by big asset managers like Bitwise, Grayscale, and Franklin Templeton. As much as $8 billion in capital inflows across XRP and other cryptocurrencies might result from ETF approvals, according to estimates made behind the scenes by banks and financial giants like JP Morgan. That isn't conjecture. When the regulatory doors fully open, it's a sign that institutions are prepared to jump right in. Price isn't the only thing that has people excited. The goal is to establish XRP as a pillar of the financial industry of the future. XRP was never intended to be simply another cryptocurrency coin, after all. It was designed for efficient value transfer, liquidity provisioning, cross-border payments, and utility. Big money players, looking for both performance and purpose, find those use cases much more alluring with an ETF on the table. The neighborhood is beginning to feel that the long wait is finally over. John Squire wrote, "XRP holders are done waiting. It is time to put a definitive conclusion to this SEC case." The XRP ecosystem is resonating with that sentiment. These days, it's more than just weathering the storm. It's all about taking center stage. Broader developments in the cryptocurrency space, meanwhile, indicate that the SEC is changing its stance. In order to influence policy, initiatives like as Injective are actively interacting with authorities. As Camper pointed out, Injective has made significant announcements this week, interacting with the SEC to influence cryptocurrency regulations. This indicates that the days of conflict are ending and that XRP is well positioned to capitalize on this shift. The value of XRP is expected to rise at an absolutely incredible rate, which, believe me, most people aren't prepared for, according to cryptocurrency specialists. A few of the figures that are being floated, they will astound you. We are discussing predictions with significant institutional backing that have the potential to change the game. Therefore, before you write off XRP as just another cryptocurrency, stay still, because what's about to happen could fundamentally alter your perspective on its future. According to Jack the Rippler, XRP is your golden ticket to financial freedom, and the cryptocurrency community is resounding with this opinion. With Amonix posting, there is a noticeable buzz among longtime holders, and XRP holders are poised, anticipating the next big move. You sense its imminence. Wide open eyes. That feeling of expectation isn't arbitrary. It is supported by crazy but technically sound price forecasts, ETF speculation, and a surge of new institutional investment. Veteran analyst Crypto Bitlord, who has garnered media attention for his stunning allegation, is currently one of the loudest voices in the room. XRP might hit You read correctly, each XRP Ripple coin is worth $2,500, not $5 or $10. That sounds impossible to skeptics. However, Bitlord isn't merely ignoring statistics. He cites XRP's history, particularly its illustrious 2017 run, as evidence that vertical development is not only feasible, but also ingrained in the company's core values. He wrote, XRP at $2,500 isn't just a dream. It would be easy for a pump like 2017 to clear $2,000. Fact. Expect vertical price discovery now that the annual resistance is free. Here, the term vertical price discovery is crucial. With no historical ceiling to stop it, it suggests that XRP may be moving into uncharted territory on its price chart. According to Bitlord, XRP may rise smoothly if those last resistance levels are breached, particularly if institutional support and a potential 2025 ETF approval are in place. Not everyone agrees, of course. With cautious optimism, TM Research added, let's see where XRP dollars land at the end of this cycle. It will be great to go into price discovery. It's highly unlikely to reach $2,500 though. Others, such as Stu, strongly objected, pointing out the ridiculousness of the suggested valuation of $2,500 and the fact that this would raise the completely diluted market capitalization of XRP to over $250 trillion, which is far more than the market capitalization of gold, the world stock market, or even global real estate. Stu wrote, "You're going to tell me that market cap doesn't apply to XRP next? Man, people will only be destroyed by these ridiculous pricing demands." However, the potential is more important to many XRP believers than the precise figure. The circumstances are right for something significant when you take into account Ripple's increasing usefulness in international payments, a court win against the SEC, and the possibility of an ETF approval by 2025. Therefore, they're not just making up statistics when Alex Duckett states that XRP is up to 500. Crazy, huh? But wait, that's only the start. This positive signal is going to push things to the next level. Therefore, let's dive into XRP Ripple's relationships now. I promise that even the most doubtful investors will be motivated by what comes next.